Oh, hey, good morning, good afternoon, everybody, depending on which part of this beautiful country that you're in. You're watching Rebel Roundup. I'm your regular host, Sheila Gunn, and it is Tuesday. So I am joined by my real life best friend in the whole wide world, Lise Merle from Regina, Saskatchewan. Lise, how's it going?
Well, I am your irregular guest, Sheila Gunn, right? And I'm coming in colorful today because did I or
Yes,
did I not write a best-selling book about a rainbow unicorn?
exactly. Exactly
Coming
that.
in colorful.
Um, Now, some of you have written in to tell me yesterday that we were off the rev limiter. And that might have been the case, but we're going to try to keep it in our lanes today, maybe not swear on camera. We'll see how it goes, though. I might be making promises that I have no ability to keep. I should tell everybody what we're doing around here real quick because we
Mhm.
got a super packed show. I think um, already I'm regretting even making that promise because this first one is probably going to put Lise into orbit. Our first topic. If I know my best friend, and I believe I do, this one's really going to just grind your gears. But if you are watching us on Rumble, thank you. That's a great free speech platform. If you want to get involved in the show, support the work that we do, wherein we give you something back, and that's your say. You can leave a Rumble rant if it's over the $5 US cutoff. It's obligatory that we read it on air. If you are watching us on YouTube, the paid chat over there is called a super chat. Same rules apply. If it's over the $5 US cutoff, we'll read it on air. If it's under that, we'll do our very best to get to it. And if you miss the live version of the show, YouTube has an additional way that you can support us, and that's by leaving a super thanks. That's their paid chat. And let's get into it, shall we? So I, like the entire internet, I believe, have been on the Epstein files rabbit hole, but it's more of a
Ooh.
rat hole, ant farm.
Mm.
Everywhere
A
I go,
snake pit, a den of
oh,
snakes.
thank you. What do they call that? A habituary or a hibernaculum? A snake hibernaculum. There's your new word of the day, people. Where the snakes all tangle up and go to sleep, but they also wriggle and writhe all the time under the ground. You know they're there. You don't want to pick up that old sheet of plywood because you know they're there, and then they'll just come out. That has
That's
been the
the
Epstein
Epstein
file.
files.
And I think you can put it in like multiple categories. So there's like the weird sex stuff, and then there's the weird influence peddling stuff, and then there's like the weird science stuff that he does, and then there's like then the weird science stuff sort of tracks over top of the weird sex stuff. Anyways, I've been
Yeah.
doing my best to make sense of it all.
Mhm.
I don't think I can. I don't like these rich people, man.
We are going to need a whiteboard for this, Sheila Gunn Reid, and about 48 hours in a hotel room.
Sticky
There
notes.
they are. There they are, a Post-it whiteboard. Yeah, really quite staggering. I've only I just gotta be really careful because I find it so disturbing. Like, I find the whole thing so disturbing that I gotta be really careful about what I chase down. What I'm still interested in, though,
Yeah.
is how the CBC was related to Jeffrey Epstein and
Oh,
the relationship
friendly.
there. I
Friendly
mean,
as all get out. Um, yeah, it's been weird. And, you know, what's been revelatory in all of this is that the
mm,
trans madness was never an organic thing, was
of
it?
course it wasn't.
It was these rich weirdos talking about it years ago and then infecting other people's
Yes.
kids with this suicidal ideology. And so
Yes.
this is from Gays Against Groomers. And this is shocking. Jeffrey Epstein spoke to a Harvard scientist about the sexual benefits. Oh, I hate even reading this, of turning children trans, and spoke of doing so as young as 3 years old. And I'm just gonna, can we dig in? There's the screenshot there, and then there's a picture of Jeffrey Epstein, which, by the way, I was watching a video of him and what's his face, formerly of Breitbart, Steve Bannon.
Mm,
You'd think that this guy, for all of his wealth and connections, would have done something to correct his horrible New York accent and
Mm,
his insufferable voice. Yeah, can we just listen to a little of this? It's
please,
revolting.
please.
Like straight up creep show. He's got all the money to have somebody come and train him not to talk like this. Like, I know I sound like an Albertan. Two Michelob Ultras, I'm up in my nose and I've got to stop saying for sure. Like I know I don't put me
Deadly,
around fancy, deadly
deadly.
and right on. Like I know, look, it happens to me. One time I did it around I did it around Conrad Black and I was like, my God, what have I
That's
done? Like,
that's where that's where I like my Sasky to come out, is in
oh,
polite circles. I
it
like my
like
Sasky to just, oof, I like to
in
make
the
it obvious.
fancy circles, these people know
Yeah,
what they're getting out of me. But
yes.
anyways, let's listen to just a little bit. I know, Olivia, thank you for finding this. This is totally off topic, but this I find very strange. His voice, right? Like he could have fixed this. There are vocal coaches to have done this for you,
Yeah,
especially in the circles.
dialect coaches. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's just listen to a little bit of it.
Okay.
In business terms, you should never lend to. But what we'll do is I'm going to form an agency called Fannie Mae and Ginnie Mae, just another agency names. They'll guarantee your loan. So don't worry. Don't worry.
Wow.
You don't have to pay it back anymore. Even though and maybe you don't even have to work as hard anymore. That's probably a harsh statement, but these players, these two big firms, Fannie Mae, will guarantee the fact that that bank
That's
will
enough.
receive its money.
Just the way he talks feels like my inner ears being licked out by an anteater.
He
Like
he
it's so
sounds
gross.
he sounds exactly like you think a
Yeah,
con man would sound like.
a
Exactly the
molester. He talks like a
right?
molester, right?
Like an alleyway flasher. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
Trench
just
coat, flasher,
yes,
for sure.
yes. One of those public menaces, like a
Yes.
sex pest.
Sex pest. Sex pest voice completely. Anyway,
Mhm.
let's go back to Gays Against Groomers. This is from
Please.
2018. This is the email that they dug up. And so this is sort of when the trans madness was really popping off.
This was I mean, this was right in the thick of it. This was right
Yeah.
in the lead up to it. I'm trying to go ahead. I'm trying to so basically what is claimed here, and Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of relationships
Oh
within
God, I can't
academia.
read this on
He
air.
was no, do it. Please do. Please
Some
do.
of it I have to skip over, but yeah, he had a lot and he wanted to make like a super race.
Hey guys, screen cap this and read this later. Okay, this
Yeah,
is really
because Sheila
important.
can't read all of this on TV
Hmm.
because we said some untoward things yesterday. So I'm going to try to be careful. He says it's very simple. I will compare male to female with female to male with greater molecular control over development. We are increasingly capable of producing novel phenotypes, more feminine men by blocking testosterone receptors or castration.
Really.
Really. And at the same time, increasing estrogen production. The one, I guess, blocks male features. The second encourages female features. More masculine women, heavy testosterone dosage, incredible external effects. Heavily bearded men, you would never guess they had a female bone in their body, except their bones are actually female. If they die and you dig them up, that's how you tell. First kind male, female is 4 times more frequent than female to male. The first is attractive. Okay, I'm going to stop here. You can read this
Yeah,
yourself.
just go a little bit down to that highlight. There's a highlighted part. There we go, Olivia. Yeah.
Yeah. By the
This
way, you can read this. Yeah.
we are now pushing the intervention earlier. So you notice your 3-year-old son has trans tendencies, so now you intervene with hormones. I would be frightened to do that, but who knows?
But we do know.
We do know this entire operation is driven from the top down. It was funded by Fortune 500 companies. It was forced upon the public as a way, and children were included, to validate the extreme fetishes of a very, very small group of men. This entire movement was born out of forums for men that fetishized about castration, mutilation.
The seeds were planted. The
Yes.
seeds were planted from way above,
The,
and we were our children, not our children, but our as a society, like the royal we,
The children.
the children were just their social experiment in their own perversion.
Mhm.
And they literally don't care what, as long as their perverted needs are met, they don't care how many kids kill themselves along the way. How many
That
parents
is
are devastated. I mean, it's
how
just
many
gross.
how many families have been really upended
Yeah.
and thrown into chaos over this issue. This is what Tamara Cronus is defending. Like,
Yeah.
this is at the heart of it. This is what Tamara Cronus is defending
Yeah. Yeah.
is the fetishization of children.
This is a deeply sinister, biblically evil thing. And they put it in emails. They put it in emails. Like, I think we all sort of knew, like, if you really genuinely thought about this, you all sort of knew that this had to come from somewhere. This just didn't happen on its own for the first time in human history. Like, you had to have known that this was grown and percolated in some petri dish somewhere. Well, now we're seeing. These.
It did come out of academia. It did come out of psychology. It did come out of the top down funding
Mhm.
that people like you and I weren't even aware of until it was so overarching you couldn't avoid it.
Yeah.
But this is definitely not something that is good, that children are just discovering, that they're born in the wrong body. They were told that, they were lied to, and we have to roll it back.
It was like an infection that was released by these
Oh,
weirdos into the
sure.
world.
It was a social contagion. Like, the statistics actually back that up.
Sure.
Is
And
that
now
so
we're
much
seeing
of
that
this?
we're on the downside of it.
Well, let's help. Let's help that.
I believe so. Despite
Yeah.
what we saw over the weekend, I truly believe so. But as I frequently say, Moloch always gets his babies, right? Like, this is a deeply perverse, biblical evil, with every generation. There's always people willing to serve their children up on the altar of Moloch, and this is it. This is it, man.
Not me.
Not me. Not me. All right. On that grim note, let's move ahead to Alberta, USA stuff. Things we didn't
Please.
get to as much as we wanted to yesterday because we were so occupied by the one vote at the Conservative Party convention that didn't pass. Okay, the business leaders are in Alberta. And when we say business leaders, we don't mean your small business who knows that a free and prosperous Alberta with lower taxes would be good for you and your small business and your welding company and your small oil field services company or your mom and pop restaurant. They don't mean you. They
They
mean
mean
big
they
business with
they
ties to
mean
liberals.
yeah, they mean the businesses that attend big schwanky galas, take
Yeah.
selfies with liberals. That's who they mean.
So, this is according to the Edmonton Chamber of Commerce, who I don't want to hear from because they didn't say anything when businesses were closed during COVID. So I don't want to hear from you people ever again. You showed yourself. I was going to say something a little bit more colorful during COVID about how you actually care about businesses. You didn't actually lobby for businesses to be reopened. You lobbied for more money from the government to keep them closed while people lost everything and their jobs too. So they say the separatist math doesn't add up, warns Edmonton business leaders. Don't care. An independent Alberta would start off $60 billion in debt and take decades to recover economically, says Edmonton Chamber of Commerce. Absolutely not. They say if Alberta separates and accepts U.S. President Donald Trump's offer of a line of credit, then the new country, I just like seeing that in writing. The new country will be starting off $600 billion in debt. Take back, yeah, who cares? They're issuing a stark warning. And says it's already driven away investment in Alberta and the province. I absolutely do not believe that to be true.
Oh, absolutely not.
But this is Project Fear. For those of you who don't
Agreed.
know, Project Fear was a campaign driven by the Federalists in the last days and months before the Quebec referendum. And it was to scare people about outward flight of business and a brain drain and wildly fluctuating interest rates and basically becoming uninsurable if Quebec were to separate. Now, that could have been, at least in part, some ways true in Quebec, but it's definitely not the case here. We're in a better financial state. We have better trade relations with the Americans. We have something
Mhm.
they need,
That's right.
and a lot of it, and our own federal government won't let us produce it. Imagine if we were not bound by the federal emissions targets and
If
we
we were,
could ramp up coal fired electricity and drill baby drill and build export pipelines and strike trade deals without having to go through the idiots in Ottawa, you really think that we would be in a crippling financial state? Really? Absolutely not.
yeah, the same goes for Saskatchewan. We have all the food, we
Yeah.
have all the
Yes.
fuel, and we have all the fertilizer. So what exactly are we doing here? What they're doing is they're scaremongering, and they're
Yes.
not giving Albertans or Westerners, the independence-minded Westerners, the benefit of the doubt that we would be able to find a way. What they're operating from is within the idea of the constraints of Canada. Let us loose, unshackle us from the burden of the dying star of the nation of Canada, and watch us go. Watch us go.
Yeah. It's they say if Alberta does move to a separate state, it's going to take decades for people to come back to seeing Alberta as a great place to invest. If you look at Scotland or Quebec,
Sure.
there's a lot of different examples where a separatist movement had massive impacts on the economy. Except we are not doing this for cultural reasons. I mean, we are doing it for cultural reasons, but we are doing this for economic reasons.
Right.
Because we don't see an economic future where we are allowed to attract investment as long as we stay in Canada, where we have some of the most onerous business restrictions, especially on natural resource development, on the entire face of the earth.
Hmm. And we're thinking what kind of place we want for our great grandchildren.
Right.
Do we want them to still be fighting the battle that we're talking about today? Or do we want a clean break of it and give them a chance at success? This is what we're pondering. And I don't think that the Edmonton Chamber of Commerce is quite tapped into that yet.
Yeah, these are the guys who are perfectly fine with the temporary foreign worker program artificially depressing wages in this country and unemploying an entire generation
Sure.
of youth. I don't want to hear from them. I don't want to hear from them. You're fine with indentured servitude.
Right.
We're not going to do that in the new country. When I'm the Christy Gnome of the new country.
When you get to when we actually get a say in
Yeah.
who moves here.
Yeah. No, I don't want to hear from these people. I don't care. You guys are the pushers of the temporary foreign worker program. So thank you. No, thank you. You were fine when our businesses were closed during COVID and people lost their jobs, their houses, their family, everything. Don't want to hear from you. Zip it. Zip it. Also, don't compare us to Quebec and Scotland. We've got something they don't have. And that's quite literally everything else.
Right.
Right? Like
Everything.
anyway. Now, I love Marco Navarogini at the Halting Institute.
Oh, me too. Oh, just a
If you're not
beaut.
following his Substack, you must. He's done some great work on debunking the myth of, oh, you're going to be landlocked. And he like draws on other places in the world where states became independent and were
Mhm.
able to get access to markets. And one of the places that he routinely points to is Kazakhstan. Why is that important? Landlocked and oil rich. And they have figured it out.
They
So
made a way.
we're
They negotiated. They negotiated, they got a good deal, and they're doing okay, and that's gonna be the same for, the West.
so um I guess he points out a video, and this is what he says. Marco says, this video embodies the condescending progressive Laurentian attitude towards Albertans. And then we're going to watch this together, but don't scroll down. I want everybody, we'll do the reveal together because the person looks exactly the way you think. Okay? You're not going to be surprised at all by this Justin Bieber looking woman. It features an Ontario teacher mocking our premier and Albertans for wanting to secede from Canada, but allegedly not knowing what secession means. The teacher is wrong on every one of her 7 points, but it is hardly worth refuting them individually until you notice that she cannot even spell the key word she's pontificating about. Alberta separation. Ontario education for the win. So let's hear from Lady Justin Bieber, shall we? Together?
Yes.
Okay.
So Danielle Smith, Premier of Alberta, is leading about 275 Albertans to think that separation from Canada is really a plausible idea. Time to get the board. If Smith would just sit in on my grade 8 class, all of this would actually be easier for her to understand. There we go. Ignore the glare. It's gonna work out. Don't worry, don't worry. It's new, but I like the picture-in-picture thing we got going on here. Stand by for the markers.
I'm already annoyed.
This could be messy.
Yep,
Nobody
me
really
too.
knows. Alberta separation. Oh, that's pretty. Come a little bit closer so you can get a front row seat. I'm going to give this
Spelling
little
mistake.
band of potato men trying to make deals with down south 7 legitimate, significant reasons why secession is a bad idea. Oh, can somebody explain to them what secession means? I don't have time. Number 1, economic devastation.
Nope.
Capital
fine.
will leave, corporations will leave, people will leave.
We're
This
gonna
will
be richer
devastate
than
your
our
tax
wildest
base,
dreams.
and in all fairness, collapse your housing market. Is that what you're going for?
Okay, honey.
Oh, you think taxes are bad? You're gonna try the whole tariff thing as well? Are you gonna
Nobody
explain
said
to
that.
the people it's still them paying the tax? Nah. Number 2, landlocked.
Oh God, this person
Vulnerability.
influences kids.
As a landlocked, newly independent Alberta, you're going to lose guaranteed access to pipelines and tidewaters instantaneously.
We don't have
were you gonna
tidewater or
rely on the
pipelines.
rest of Canada to pick up the slack and make you guys economically solvent? Interesting. Or were you gonna rely on the potato down south to swoop
oh
up
my
and
gosh.
save
Can
you
we-
and
can we,
rescue you and build?
Enough of it. Like, honest to God, I can't stand. This is exactly the reason why I want to leave.
Yeah.
I want to
this.
leave because of people like this.
Yes. Yes.
Like a poster child for see you later. Oh,
Yes.
look at she can't even. Oh, it's so funny. Like when she didn't have spell check. Look at me and my grade 8. I am the leader of a bunch of grade 8 activists in Ontario. No, they can't spell. No, they can't do math, but they will be activists. Ooh.
I just want to, Olivia, I'm going to drop this in here because our friend Peter McCaffrey at the Alberta Institute did a pretty good job of debunking some of this. I'm too annoyed by the condescending nonsense of this teacher that can't even spell separation, talking down to our premier who is, look, you can say a lot of things about Premier Smith if you're on the left. You might not like her policies and stuff, but that is one sharp cookie. That woman can rattle off numbers like nobody's business. Like she's the premier, but she's got her thumb on every single portfolio out there. You can talk to her about youth unemployment numbers. She doesn't just know youth unemployment numbers in Alberta. She knows where Alberta sits across the board with relation to the other provinces.
She's extraordinarily engaged.
It's so smart. Like
Yes.
you can ask her about a specific project and like an obscure project. Like you could ask her about, and I realize Curl Lake is not obscure if you're from the industry, but that's if you're from the industry. She will rattle off numbers out of whatever project you're talking about, you know?
Mhm.
And she's so smart on this stuff. So to say that she doesn't understand, when you can't spell separation, that's quite something. This is one heck of a self-own, actually, when you think about it. Like that teacher, Lady Justin Bieber, Grade 8 teacher.
Detention.
She
Extra
watched
tutoring.
She watched
Extra
that
tutoring.
video, edited it slightly, because you can see there's jump cuts and stuff, and thought, posting this banger. Unlearn indeed.
This the unlearn label tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
Like that's a kind of study that promotes the anti-colonialism, the climate change, across the board. This is what unlearning means.
Right. But these are also the sorts of people who don't have children of their own through self-sterilization or because they see kids as a plague upon the face of the earth causing climate change, whatever.
Yeah.
So in a couple generations, these people are indeed a self-fixing problem. So that's the moral of the story here. But because they don't have children of their own, okay, so look, Lise and I, between the two of us, have 9 children.
Yes.
That's how we are going to change the culture. We will pass along our values to our children. That's how it should be. But this person, like a zombie or a vampire, has to bite your children and infect them with their bad ideas. Because they won't do the selfless thing of actually having their own children. But anyways, getting back to the point, Peter McCaffrey, he says, literally every single point of this lesson from someone who is apparently a real teacher is factually wrong. Separation is spelt wrong. There's no reason for businesses and capital to flee a wealthy province. Businesses fled Quebec because Quebec separation would have meant Quebec getting poorer from not receiving subsidies anymore. Bingo. And independent Alberta would need permission to transport things across from the exact same people and governments it currently needs permission from. It would need permission from only the US instead of the US and Canada to transport things south. Excellent point. And
Yes.
they want market access to our product. It's in their strategic interests to have access to Alberta oil, which is why we'll never have to worry about anybody invading us or harming us. Look what they did for Kuwait. Oceans away. And they're like, no, that's a strategic asset. We can't have Hussein meddling in that. You think someone's going to look at us wrong? Someone's going to scowl at us wrong, and they're going to get black bagged into a Black Hawk. Anyway, let's keep going. Some things have fixed costs, that's true, but the savings on things with variable costs would outweigh this. Albertans currently pay for all of these things already. The federal government just acts as a middleman and takes a cut, which spends in other provinces. Bingo, bingo. Indigenous rights would stay exactly the same as they are now. Yeah, we might even actually meet the obligations under the treaties. You might get clean water and drug treatment on reserve.
I do believe the quality of life for First Nations people would drastically improve without the federal government of Canada getting involved.
Also, we already do these things. The feds wouldn't build out drug treatment beds on reserve. It is their responsibility. They failed to. Indigenous people are dying of opioids. And you know who stepped in to help? The provincial government, because the feds wouldn't. So we'll take it from here, thanks.
Sure.
Alberta is entitled to our share of the CPP funds. Pensions are provincial jurisdiction in the Constitution, and the formula is clear no matter how many times you lie about it. Also, we paid into those pensions as Canadians.
Well,
even if we are no longer Canadian, we still paid into those. It's like people retiring to Arizona. They still get their CPP.
Exactly. This is such a silly argument because we know that there are Canadian expats that are living clear across the world, okay? In every country across the world. And guess what happens to their pensions? They get deposited into their bank accounts no matter where they're living. And the same will go for the people of Alberta. Your pensions aren't going anywhere.
Yes. Alberta's oil exports are greater than all of Quebec's exports. Not just Quebec's oil exports, all of Quebec's exports. So our one sector export outweighs the entire export economy of Quebec. So again, that's not potash, that's not natural gas, that's not food, that's not lumber, that's not all the other things that we do.
No.
One pipeline is worth more in GDP than Ontario's entire auto sector. Just digest that for a second. And look what they are doing to protect the auto sector.
Yes.
One pipeline is worth more than that, and they won't let us build one.
Unreal.
And then Peter goes on to say, if this is what they're teaching people in the rest of Canada, no wonder they have no idea what's happening in the real world. Bingo.
Beautiful.
No wonder they don't understand why we want to leave. Like these are the people that are being called in as experts.
Well, and it just goes to show how different we are as
So
a
different.
region. Like we don't identify as whatever that is. We don't identify as whatever that is. We have different ambitions. We want to do big things. And as long as we're shackled to Canada, we're never going to be able to do them.
Look, and I'm going to be slightly unkind here, but and I'll preface this by saying, once again, as I always say, I'm not winning any beauty pageants, but this person has some real sallow skin. Like, we're not eating enough to fuel our brain. Like, there's something wrong here. Like that, those eyes are wild. Those are crazy eyes. Crazy, crazy eyes. Anyway, look. Just
this is
sallow skin.
This is a person that I would cross the street if I was walking towards them.
Oh, to avoid completely. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
No, frightening.
Imagine leaving your kids with that person for 7 hours a day.
For a whole entire year. This is the reality of Canadian parents. You guys, let's just bring this up. This is not a one-off teacher. This is not a one-off teacher. This is what Canadian parents are fighting in the public school system tooth and nail.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Jean Chrétien. They dusted off that old fossil to criticize Alberta. Stuff him back in his sarcophagus unless you're going to give him a hard time about residential schools. Okay, because he was the last guy who signed off on them. We got to listen to these jerks like that chronic house flipper, Talib Noor Mohammed, say that the conservatives are denying a genocide. I believe Jean Chrétien is still alive. Apparently, we've got proof of life here. Go bother him about residential schools. I don't need to hear from him about Western separation.
Okay.
Is he alive? I don't know.
This is moving.
At this moment, our friend from the South has created a mood that a Canadian have never been so proud to be Canadian. You know, in my province of Quebec, it's still the same thing today. You know, the desire to have a referendum is very low in Quebec. Don't know what the hell is going on in Alberta. But I have to go there. I have 500 cousins.
I didn't sign the petition.
Any Tories did?
I'm told not.
want an answer.
I'm told not.
Anyway, we're having fun.
Are we?
Canada will remain united, don't worry.
That was like Weekend at Bernie's. Sorry.
I said he's still alive, but then I saw him and I'm like, I'm not so sure. Yeah, the reanimated corpse of Jean Chrétien can go back into its crypt for a while.
It's weird how they could digitally remove those marionette strings, in post-production. My goodness, what they can't do with technology these days.
I don't know what the hell is going on in Alberta. I actually think he doesn't know what the hell is going on a lot of times, maybe.
Yes.
But
that would mean for the past 30 years. Like
I don't want to hear from him on Western separation. Like I just,
No, and you know what I don't appreciate is like the standard old guard coming out to rah United Canada. When if you spent any time in Alberta or Saskatchewan and talk to anybody that lived here, the idea of independence is the first thing on our mind.
The amount of people who wanted to talk about Western separation at that Conservative Party convention, like every single Western conservative, and plenty of them who weren't Western who said, I get it, you guys. I get it. And surprising from surprising places, but also when you think about it, not surprising.
Yes,
at all.
Agreed. I noted just this morning that the difference from the locals that were in attendance at that Conservative convention. And the people that were coming from far away were completely different. The topics of conversation. If you were from the West, you were talking about independence. If you were from far away, you were talking about other things.
Yeah. Let's wrap that up. We'll hit an ad break, and then we'll go back to Liberals failing upward.
Please.
And
Yes.
a couple of other things. Also, the horrible state of the jail and bail system. And oh, my cringe. I dug up the cringe. Anyway,
Is it? I can't
it's
wait.
good. It's
I
good
can't-
because I just want. Anyways, we'll talk about it. Let's hit an ad break. We'll come back on the other side.
Gun bans make great distractions.
Trudeau may be gone, but Carney has picked up his same
We
rhetoric.
will quickly, and I mean quickly, reinvigorate the buyback of
Hunters, collectors, competitors, and defenders of tradition are still being targeted, while criminals run wild under Liberal policy. But we are fighting back. Join us, Canada's National Firearms Association, in defense of freedom.
You like the hat? Me too. Same strong message about making Canada great again, but in a really cool color, black and gold. There's other colors available, and it's an all-Canadian site. So if you want to signal your tribe or trigger a Liberal, go to mcgahats.ca today.
Okay, we've got a quick message from our friends at Rumble Wallet. They can freeze your accounts, shut off your cards, lock you out of your own money overnight. Banks don't protect you, they control you. That's why real financial freedom starts with ownership. Introducing Rumble Wallet, a non-custodial wallet built for people who refuse to give up control. With Rumble Wallet, you don't just buy digital currency like Bitcoin and Tether, you can own Tether Gold, real gold on the blockchain. Through Tether Gold, you get direct ownership of physical gold bars, each one fully allocated, verifiable by serial number, purity, and weight. This isn't paper gold. This isn't an IOU. This is real gold without bank vaults, storage fees, or gatekeepers. You can buy, sell, or move it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when traditional gold markets are closed. And if you want, Tether Gold can be redeemed for physical gold. That's power. And when you support creators on Rumble, I believe that's us, you can tip them directly using Rumble Wallet, peer-to-peer, and outside the banking system. No permissions, no middlemen, no cancel button. This wallet is yours forever. All right. Forever. All right. Let's go into Bill Blair. Speaking of old, useless liberal fossils, the guy who was public safety minister during the Emergencies Act, the gun grabber, when Justin Trudeau decided that he should start with 1,500 of your favorite models of firearms and then expand it to over 3,000, I believe it's at now. The man who was, as police chief of Toronto, overseeing the largest explosion of gang violence, I think, in that city's history.
Ever?
Bill
Bill Blair?
He is kicking off his slippers and failing upward. He's, I think he's resigning his seat in Scarborough Southwest
Mm-hmm.
to accept the appointment as the High Commissioner for Canada in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So he's going to be repping us in Mark Carney's home country
Yes.
of Great Britain. So
And this is the
Here's to him.
appointment of the High Commissioner for Canada in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is a plum position that the Liberal Party of Canada reserves for their most loyal foot soldiers. So Bill Blair is replacing Liberal Ralph Goodale. He's from Regina, Saskatchewan, my hometown. Ralph was in that role for the past several years. Didn't amount to a hill of beans. All I saw, listen, I've heard nothing about what Ralph Goodale has done there, except for his retirement, retirement announcement, and
Do
Bill
you know what?
Blair
I think that's
here.
the best. I think that's the best outcome when dealing with Ralph Goodale in charge of anything, is if you don't hear about what he's
Yes.
doing, then he's not screwing it up.
No, it
Because
was
I
so
remember when he was ag minister.
It was he did sort of like, he tried to do a cutesy video, like a goodbye video answering questions from people, and it came off as it came off as so shallow and so vapid. And I don't get me wrong, I'm delighted that Bill Blair is going to be a real long way away from Canada. You know what I mean? Like, let him go abuse some other nation's citizens.
Right.
But still, that this is the level of adoration that they will dump upon their loyal followers is crazy. I mean, this guy should not be getting a plum position in Europe because of what he did to everyday regular Canadians.
He should be
it's
resigning.
insulting.
He should be
should.
resigning in disgrace over his role in the illegal invocation of the Emergencies Act. He should be resigning in disgrace for failing to protect us from foreign interference in at least the last 2, maybe 3 elections. Yeah, it is 3 actually, because we know what happened to Joe Tay. So it is 3. He should be unable to show his face anywhere in this country. And he should be hiding at home, spending his golden years watching reruns of The Price is Right. He shouldn't be taking well-paid patronage appointments where he's going to go to the UK and pull the old Tom Clark and say, this? You want me to stay in this multi-million-dollar dump? I will not. Bring me an $800 coffee machine like Tom Clark.
I have standards for my
Right.
chalets and castles. Thank you very much.
These
Garçon.
people-
Garçon. I will be having the caviar for lunch.
Exactly.
This is the kind of lifestyle that he is stepping into this role.
Yeah.
It is a gold-plated lifestyle. It is being paid for by the Canadian public. Remember, next time you have to step over a homeless person to go pay your taxes, that you are actually paying for Bill Blair to have the most extraordinarily luxurious experience available to any person in the country. Like, this is how they reward themselves.
The man is the definition of old codger. You know? You think he's going to go over there with any sort of enthusiasm to do any work?
No.
I saw him during the Public Order Emergencies Commission. And he looked like he had no business even continuing to have a day job. Like, he just didn't look well or with it. And now he's going to be representing Canada in the UK. And these liberals, I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. Tom Clark moved into a Park Avenue penthouse. And Tom Clark was the guy that asked Justin Trudeau what sort of shampoo you use when he was working with CTV. That was his big, tough question. He got that gig, that patronage appointment. He was like, this is not nice enough for me. So they went and bought him another more expensive condo, apartment, whatever, and fully furnished it, upgraded it, and then failed to sell the other one. So then the Canadian government ended up with 2 residents for the, official envoy to New York. They're going to pull this again.
In the place that has some of the highest real estate real estate prices on planet Earth. And we were carrying this guy because with 2 apartments, not just 1, 2. Remember that next time you take your yearly annual 2-week vacation in your mother-in-law's basement because you can't afford to do anything
Right.
else.
Yeah.
Canada.
When, what's his face? I forget his name. The guy who lectured people about taking road trips. Remember that when he gives you a hard time about taking a road trip in the used Magic Wagon. Okay.
Was it Mark Miller?
No.
No. Who was
The
it?
other
Oh,
one.
it was, wait, no. Oh, they're interchangeable in my head.
They're all idiots.
Like in my head, they're just paper dolls that I switch the head off on.
You're
You know
just
what I
moving
mean?
the clothes on them.
Yes. I know. I can picture him in my head, but why can't I conjure his name? I just
Mark
can't.
Garrettson?
No.
Is it Garrettson?
Was it?
I don't know. They're
So
all
put it
prone
in-
to idiocy. So it's
Please
like,
put it in the chat, you guys.
if you know.
Please help us, help your sisters out. Put it in the chat. Who was the guy that crap talked the road trips?
Right. When that's all anybody can do. like that's all we can do. That's all we can afford. Thanks. No, it wasn't Sean Fraser. No.
Why can we not remember it?
Again,
Jeez.
it's because like interchangeable idiots. The only thing that makes Chrystia Freeland different than them is that she's a woman and she cackles. But they all say the same dumb stuff.
Well, sometimes in my paper doll brain, with paper dolls, I put Chrystia Freeland's dress with a different, like a male head on it, just for fun.
That same damn dress in different
the
colors.
red one,
Red,
one.
white. She even has it in purple.
Yeah,
it didn't look good in red. Don't get it in white.
Yeah, with a boat neck. We all know the one that
boat neck. Hits her arm in the wrong places. It's hitting her on the thigh in the wrong places.
The chest is all wrong. It's all bunchy, like it gets all bunchy up in here.
Yeah, dress for your body type. You know, you can do that. Interestingly,
it would be a troll for her, like moss.
Do we have that? I can't see it now. It looks like it's been taken down. The crack dealer. The judge grants leniency for Toronto crack dealer because of his 9 children in his race. Olivia, do we have that article?
What?
Looks like it. Okay, let me pop it open. Oh, I see it. Okay, thank you. Maybe we can put this up. Judge grants this in the National Post today. Judge grants leniency for Toronto crack dealer because of his 9 children in his race. This is has Bill Blair's fingers on it, though. This is Bill Blair's fingers, right?
Lloyd Williams couldn't prove his Micmac ancestry, but the judge was satisfied he'd established connection to Indigenous ancestry.
He just said he was, and the judge is like, well, good enough. Good enough in my courtroom.
I'm Indigenous to Saskatchewan. Okay? I'm an Indigenous Saskie.
Toronto crack dealer.
Insane.
Caught back in business 3 times over the course of 10 months. I thought it was going to say 10 years. Managed to convince a judge that he deserves some leniency because putting him behind bars would mean hardship for his 9 children.
How many baby mamas? How many baby mamas are there?
Also, I want to know how much child support this loser's paying, because I guarantee you it's 0.
Be honest.
What are they basing it off? His income? He's a crack dealer. You think he's reporting that to the CRA? Oh my God. Lloyd Williams pleaded guilty in Ontario's Court of Justice to 3 counts of possession of cocaine for the purposes of trafficking in what Justice Andre Chamberlain, remember that name, described as the deeply troubled neighborhood surrounding the intersection at Dundas and Shelbourne streets for arrests from March 3rd, 2024, October 25th, 2024, and January 4th, 2025. This guy was on a tear. Williams, it gets better. Williams, who was released after each arrest, of course he was, twice on bail and a 3rd time on the promise he wear a GPS tracking device, also pleaded guilty to 1 count of possession of proceeds of crime over $5,000. Oh, he's probably going to pay the baby mamas. And 2 counts for under that amount and failing to comply with the release order on February 5th, 2025.
Incredible.
The Crown wanted 6.5 years. That still seems low. Williams' lawyer argued for 2 years less a day in jail. So he's going to like provincial jail and not the clink.
2 stepchildren and 7 biological.
The youngest is 10 months old.
9-year-old twins, 2 10-year-olds. Okay, so there are more than 1 baby mama.
There's multiple baby mamas. This guy ain't paying child support for them.
Oh my word. Oh, you guys. Provides support as a father to his children, and that
I want to
any
see his
length of
tax return.
absence would be, listen, this is wow. This is just wow. And talking about, his neighborhood, you can just claim that because you come from a bad neighborhood, that this should sort of absolve you from the crimes that you commit in it. What? Oh,
Williams,
he identifies as, oh, you guys, this makes sense actually, because look, he qualifies as two check boxes on the hierarchy of oppression. He check boxes both the Black and the First Nations.
though he
Okay.
couldn't prove the latter, the judge was satisfied Williams had established a connection to Indigenous ancestry. Oh, so they're just taking him at his word. He's a repeat crackhead, drug dealer,
Multiple baby mamas.
baby mamas all over hell. Went on such a crime spree that he was arrested 3 times over 10 months. So again, that's just what they're catching him for, because he was doing it every single day. Released, breached conditions, failed to comply, proceeds of crime, and the judge is like, you know what, fella? I like the cut of your jib. I'll take your word for it.
Your circumstance must be related to intragenerational trauma.
That's what
And
they
it is-
said. This is from the judge's ruling. It is not unusual for Indigenous people who have struggled under the yoke of colonialism in this country and its intergenerational impact to have lost connections to their roots and community.
Okay.
And then they go on to say further, markers of the effects of intergenerational trauma, including poverty, familial addiction, struggles with education and mental health, and overrepresentation in the criminal justice and child welfare system, are often present when Indigenous identity is confirmed. Okay, but it wasn't confirmed.
Right.
Like, we should
It was
start
just
there.
claimed.
It was just
It was
claimed. It
claimed.
wasn't confirmed. He's probably Buffy St. Marieing the judge
Okay,
here.
listen, I was
And
just going to say,
he's the reason people are addicted. This is that's driving me crazy.
But we're learning a real lesson in this, in that it is, if you are ever having to defend yourself, that's the first thing you should say, is claim your indigeneity. Okay, I'm an Indigenous Sasky. That's where I'm starting with my defense, because we see he's diagnosed with epilepsy at age 3 and continues to have seizures. Okay, so the safest thing for the community and this man's actual children would be for him to be behind bars, would be a separation between him and any influence over the community or over his own children. Okay, I am sure all of the baby mamas were absolutely shattered when they learned that he would be let out right away. I think they probably looked at these arrests and went, thank God he's going to get thrown in the slammer for a couple months, giving them a little bit of a break, but not here in Canada. No, sir.
What's driving me crazy about this story, besides the fact that you could just roll up and be like, I'm Indigenous, trust me, and you have a history of crimes of moral turpitude, and lying to judges to get out of trouble, and the judge is like, I got you, bro. Yep. Yeah. Indigenous as the day is long. But he gets credit for being a victim of the things that his own behavior is doing to the community, right? Like, you're doing that. The phone call, good sir, is coming from inside the house.
Yes.
Intergenerational trauma. He's inflicting that on his kids right now by being just a plague upon the community crackhead.
Right.
Poverty. Now. You're not taking care of them kids.
He's causing absolute chaos in other families in the community. That he was arrested 3 times.
And his own too.
Exactly.
He's causing intergenerational trauma on his kid.
Imagine the ripples of chaos coming out of this guy alone. Imagine that going in from his family outward into the community. 9 traumatized kids and all their baby mamas, and then all of the people that he's supplying with drugs. Like, just wild destruction. And yet this is a guy that our justice system in Canada says, no, you can go. You can you get a get out of jail free card.
The judge points to familial addiction. This guy's probably getting entire families addicted.
That's right.
I can't get over how the judge is giving him credit for the thing. Like, he's the victim. No, he's the perpetrator.
And certainly
he's doing those things.
Certainly after 3 arrests, he would be aware that what he was doing was illegal and wrong. And he had an opportunity to go do something else.
Yeah, he could have gotten... A lot of opportunity to get right with the Lord there, and he never did. The judge said Williams deserves consideration for the reduced moral blameworthiness associated with these challenges. This is why we want to go.
Yep.
This
right,
stuff.
just like this.
This guy should be under the jail. Instead, the judge is like, you know what?
Say
Right on the
ow.
old wrist.
Pretend it hurts. Say owie. Ow.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Ridiculous.
I learned my lesson.
I'm so sorry. Let's go into this other story.
Please.
This is my story from yesterday. The Liberals said asylum hotels would end. Do you remember that? They're like, we're not doing that anymore. We closed the floodgates. So I got my hands on some documents that show that not only were they not trying to end the asylum hotels, they were trying to expand them in cooperation with the Red Cross and another group. They were trying to institutionalize them.
Interesting.
So just more liberal lies.
So add the hospitality.
Trudeau said, oh, we're closing Roxham Road. But they didn't close Roxham Road. What they did was they allowed people to make asylum claims at Pearson instead. So they didn't have to sneak across. They could just fly in.
Yeah.
And then they were planning a welcome hub at Pearson like none of us would have noticed.
Oh, well,
a welcome hub for asylum seekers at Canada's busiest airport.
Sheila, let us tell the people what Pearson International Airport looks like. The last time we were there, like it was so staggering. It looks like any airport in a third world country.
Yes.
This is what Pearson, like, this does not look, it just feels like you teleport to another entire foreign land. And that's Canada's busiest airport.
Maybe that's a symptom of Toronto. I don't know. But you go there and you're like, this could be anywhere in the world except Canada.
Yeah. It's really quite staggering.
We've got, I don't know what I want to do. We're over time.
Comments in the cringe.
Okay, one more thing.
Chats in the cringe. Okay.
This was very busy on X yesterday. Tamara Ugolini wrote it up because this is definitely her beat. Health Canada is withholding the COVID vaccine injury files for 15 years. An order paper response confirms millions of pages on vaccine and adverse drug reactions are sealed until the 2040s. Echoing the US FDA's attempt to hide, this is previous, attempt to hide Pfizer's trial data for 75 years.
You surprised? Are you surprised that they're trying to cover their tracks?
Wonder what they're hiding.
Wonder if they're
safe and effective.
A 15-year hiatus on the release of documents is almost unheard of. Truly, almost unheard of.
Yeah.
And if they had any contrition or if they had any care for the people that were negatively impacted by this, they wouldn't have done this. But they're not. They don't care. They don't care why people died. They don't care.
Oh, or are injured. Their hearts are damaged.
Sure.
After people, and I don't begrudge anybody who took the vaccine. People took it against loneliness. People took it against unemployment.
I took it so I could
you
go
were
for
injured.
lunch.
And you were injured.
Blood
almost
clot
instantly.
Instantaneously.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't begrudge anybody for that. But I do have a lot of ire for the government that made it so that people had to make that impossible choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's hideous. And now they're going to hide their culpability in damaging millions of people for 15 years. Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this is being appealed to the Information Commissioner. There's no reason why these files should be hidden.
It's got to be. There's got to be. There should be no secrets between the government and the citizens. There should be no secrets like this, especially when the citizens were so terribly, profoundly impacted by, a multitude of different, a multitude of different reasons because of this whole event.
Yeah,
it's sort of unforgivable, and it says a lot about how transparent and accountable this government is willing to be.
People should be in jail. They should be in jail. I'll just talk about the Independent Press Gallery, of which I am the president. Yesterday, we applauded the Conservatives for their policy motion to force the CBC to compete in a free market. The Independent Press Gallery, again, of which I am the president, it is an association of journalists from all across the country working across multiple platforms and different forms of media. We don't care if you're on the left or the right. Here's what we care about. Do you believe in the free press? And do you believe in fully being independent and transparent? Do you believe in being independent of the government and taking government funds? If that's the case, you're welcome in the Independent Press Gallery. We provide training. We will, like we've done training on, what you need to know to.
It's just been awesome.
Yeah, to prevent you from finding yourself on the wrong side of a defamation lawsuit. We've done training seminars on your rights as a journalist in a public place, like what is trespass, when can you be trespassed, where can you film, what's considered a public place, things that you need to know as a journalist out there in the world, especially if you don't have the backing of an organization like Rebel News, where we're just like, call the lawyers, sue everybody. If you're if you're independent, we want to be there to provide you support.
Okay, if you see journalists holding one of these, I don't know, can you see this? This guarantees that journalist is independent, is not being paid by government, and is not towing any kind of line. This is in stark contrast. You'll remember on yesterday's show, it was divulged on CPAC that there are how many 180,000 journalists carrying water for Mark Carney in the Liberal Party of Canada. 180,000. Remember that. There are a handful of independent journalists that are the voices countering that insane corruption. This is a media and government rot together. This is what that is. So
it's like a symbiotic, parasitic relationship where the taxpayer is the one being suckled dry. If you are an independent journalist and your work is published somewhere, and what I mean by that is, are you publishing on X? Are you on YouTube? Do you have Substack? Do you have Medium, whatever? And you want to join the Independent Press Gallery? It's $10 a year. You get a cool press pass and access to our trainings and supports and advocacy. I frequently issue press releases condemning the treatment of our member journalists, and sometimes not even our member journalists, like our friends at Caliber Magazine. I'm not even sure if oh my God, I need a new headshot. Girl. But anyway, we frequently just provide moral support to journalists who find themselves in harm's way, as opposed to the mean girls at the CBC who boo-hoo over unflattering photos and mean tweets. But anyway, this is what we said yesterday. For decades, the CBC has enjoyed billions in guaranteed subsidies while behaving like a political actor rather than a public broadcaster. It has been shielded from competition, insulated from failure, and allowed to posture as a moral...
Oh, where did... Uh-oh. Did we lose Sheila Gunn Reid, you guys? Did we lose Sheila Gunn Reid? She froze. I wish I could see that statement. Olivia, are you still there? Where's it, please? We're just going to go to an ad break, everybody. Slight technical difficulties. Bear with us. We will be right back.
Big news! Rebel News now has premium memberships on X, Locals, and right here on YouTube. For just $4.99 a month on YouTube, you'll get loyalty badges, custom emojis, and access to members-only chats during our live streams. At $8.99 a month, you'll also unlock Rebel News Plus shows and our documentaries. But here's the catch. YouTube could cancel that premium tier at any time. That's why the best way to support us is at rebelnewsplus.com. It's just $8 a month, cheaper if you go annual, and you'll get exclusive extras like an ad-free site, comments access, and even the chance to submit op-eds. Wherever you join us, thanks for keeping our independent journalism alive and strong. Anyway, I'm back. Elon Musk failed me. Starlink had a momentary glitch there. Anyway, if you want to read that statement, it's on the Independent Press Gallery socials. But we just go through and rip CBC for being a political actor rather than a public broadcaster, shielded from competition, insulated from failure, and allowed to posture as a moral authority without ever facing market criticisms. We said that CBC has enjoyed extraordinary advantages, protected budgets, preferred distribution, and political insulation.
Yes.
This era should end. It is time for the broadcaster to face the same discipline as every independent outlet in the country. And we welcome this policy motion as a necessary commitment against Canada's bailout-driven media cartel and a step toward restoring a press that answers to citizens instead of politicians.
Beautiful. Just gorgeous. And yes, the CBC should have to compete on the same playing field as everybody else. Of course they should. Imagine, I could just, you know what? That's going to be the best day of my life, is when the CBC has to rely on the same level of hustle that we have to rely on here at Rebel News. Their little heads will explode. Just be awesome. Can't wait.
Okay. I'm just sending you a message, Olivia, about the two cringes, because one came to me from a friend last night and I thought that's a great one for Lise to react to.
Okay.
And then there's one about the Haitian immigrant. And it's so perfect. Like chef's kiss the left. Like,
Can't wait.
when they're, how they're like, we can't deport all the illegals. My word, who will cut the grass? I don't know, the 16-year-old up the street. Like, what are you doing? Anyways, we'll get to that. Let's do the chats and then the cringes. Okay, we've got a few chats. Cuddy77, $5.99, just spreading the love from my defunded gem account. The West Coast is listening. Your defunded CBC gem account, they're still going to count that as an active account as long as they have your email address. I learned that at committee.
Oh, interesting. Well, thank you for sharing the love. We love you back.
Yeah, I think I learned that when Kevin Waugh, one of my favorite MPs from Saskatchewan, he was
Uncle
given
Kev.
Uncle
Kev. Just the best.
Uncle Kev was given Catherine Tate at the CBC just the business, and they were talking about like the number of gem subscribers. That's their like subscription service. And it's like subscribers versus active users are two very different things. And like they were counting active users as just people whose emails they'd captured.
Interesting.
Yeah. Basically, they were as big as Crave if you asked them. And it was like, no, I don't think so.
Actually.
Northern Lights I5Z gives us $5. Thank you for covering this. Evil is hard to confront, but confront it we must. I believe that's the Gays Against Groomers stuff.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. It's our honor. It's our honor to do this work, and it ain't easy. I will tell you that for free. It ain't easy.
Yeah, but grateful that we work at a company that allows us to.
Just the best.
77 Just Jack gives us $10. What's going on with pipelines is exactly what happened in the early 1980s with the National Energy Program. Yes, sir. Alberta threatens the power dynamic of the Laurentian elites. They hate us having any power to do to our wealth. Yes. Yes. They also, the elites with their pedigree last names and their social circles, they hate the idea that you can make $250,000 a year in Alberta with your back in your hands and a little bit of hard work. They hate that you can graduate from high school and then have the wealth and life you deserve. They hate it.
They can't stand us doing well. No. They literally want to see us, in a food line.
Yeah.
The only thing, according to them, the only thing that we should have is what the crumbs that are swept off of their immaculately set table. No thanks.
Right. Yeah, right. We're
We'll
supposed to be
table. Thanks.
The drone underclass serving the queen bee.
Slaves
in this country. Yeah.
Slave class.
It's Paul Newman gives us $6.99. He says,
I love him.
I know. Frequent donor to the show, frequent chatter. To be fair, Chrétien has not known what's happening in Alberta going back over 30 years.
Thank you.
In Alberta, I think generally
Exactly.
speaking, perhaps. I should cut him some slack because he did choke out a hippie that one time. And so
Oh, didn't he get hit with a pie or something?
they,
Is that John
yeah,
Chrétien? Is that,
Jean
or am I crossing
Chrétien
the streams
did,
there?
they called it the old Shawinigan handshake where he just grabbed that hippie by the neck.
Right. Took him down.
Yeah, someday. Bradley Wilcox, 8604 gives us $2 and says separation is the only way.
Amen, brother.
Okay,
Preach.
oh gosh. Oh my word. That popped up and it shouldn't have. Okay, let's go to the York Regional Police. I don't know when this is from. I'm going to say probably from last June.
Okay.
But I regret to inform you that the York Regional Police are at it again. This is
Is this the cringe?
This is one of the cringes. We're going to go
Okay,
to the
everybody.
cringe. Okay. Lise, this
Buckle up.
one's for you.
Okay. I'm ready. I won't take my eyes.
Imagine being one of those cops in the background. Like you just want to die.
You know, they have legs. They have legs. Each one of those guys has legs. I can see them.
Girl is really getting into it. Look at
drag hag all the way. Drag hag all the way. But this, well, how could you debase yourself? How could you debase your uniform like this? This is friggin' embarrassing. You know what the last thing I think of is, oh, these guys are going to keep me safe.
Right.
If that dancer came into the women's washroom while my daughter was there, who am I going to trust to keep my daughter safe? The guys beating their
girl
sticks
just like dancing, like really getting into it.
Behind it, gross, absolutely gross.
We got to do away with DEI in policing, DEI in general, but let's just start with policing.
Ooh, it needs to be. Sheila, top down in every industry, in every ministry, in every publicly funded institution, gone.
Yes. Yeah, like I love summer. I like the summer weather. I like going on a summer toodle with my best friend to all the cowboy zoos. I love that. But the worst part of summer is Pride season. It's just a nonstop, just optical abuse every time I open the internet.
Yeah. But now you guys, you have something really lovely to think about when you see those rainbow colors, because the rainbow doesn't belong to any one category of people. It doesn't belong to just one group. And this is how we take it back. You will not see me dancing on a stage like that. You just will not. But reading little stories to little children, yes.
Yeah, somebody points out that I think York Regional Police, their starting salary is $72,000 a year, so $200 a day. 5 clapping cops for drag queen dancing is roughly $1,000 worth of wages. Not to mention that drag queen is not dancing for free. That's probably a $5,000 hit there. If you can call that dancing, what is that?
Oh, it's like the style. You know, Elon Musk's problematic son. If you watch Elon Musk's problematic son, who's pretending to be a girl, this is a style of performance this year, what you saw there. And no, thank you. It's just not my thing. I don't want to be exposed to it.
I don't know if you caught Lyndon and I Irish dancing at the Rebel News after party, but we'll come do it for like half this much. Both of us.
Okay. Hired.
I'm in York Regional Police, call me.
Do you have friends and family pricing? Like what's my rate? What would it take for you guys to be in my living room doing that dance?
Lyndon will do it probably for a pack of cigarettes.
Done, bro. Get here. Leave now. Leave right after the show.
I'll do it for free. You know that.
Best.
Let's go to the cringe of the lady who adopted a Haitian migrant. Illegal?
A designer baby? She got herself a designer baby? Okay, let's look.
Sort of. On the 40th trimester. Okay, go.
And it's really fun having them. What I realized is there's so much prejudice against refugees, mostly because people don't know them.
Lisa says she feels like she has her own personal chef, as Wildande loves cooking. ¿Te gusta?
And it's really fun having them. What I realized is,
Ma'am, slavery is illegal. Like, what are you doing? She took in a Haitian refugee and makes her cook.
Yep. That's what was just said on the news. Could you imagine? Could you imagine calling your local news and being like, now listen, I got me some designer adoptive kids who are really quite handy around the
They're
house.
handy around the house. They're cooking, they're cleaning, they're wearing uniforms.
You know, since they've arrived, I don't have to get out of bed until 11, and even then they bring me my eggs. It is quite the splendiferous. Everybody should try this.
Not a great look. The rich white lady with the black lady doing all the cooking and the cleaning. I thought we were against that.
It's a little bit tone deaf. But again, liberal women, absolutely.
Oh, she thinks she's the best. She'll be out there protesting ICE tomorrow in her
she's
minivan.
getting
For
virtue
sure.
points, right? Because she gets virtue points from all of her friend group. The friend group would be like, how, you really sacrificed a lot to bring these poor Haitian kids into your house. Meanwhile,
Right.
we got Cinderella in the background scrubbing corners. Like she's
It's like having a personal
stepmother.
chef.
Hello, excuse me, are there any children to adopt that are really great at scrubbing
Right.
toilets and folding laundry? Those are the two jobs I hate the most, so I was just hoping for an adoptive child that would fit well into our family. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
she adopted a refugee or a child on the 40th trimester or whatever it is. Like, and she just thinks she's the most morally superior woman. It's like, ma'am, you have a slave in your house. Okay, we've got a couple more chats. Alex Greer 7700 because it's 279 says Chrétien is the best recruiter for separatism.
Amen. Wasn't he? Weekend at Bernie's. Don't forget. Every time I see him now, I just want you to think that they're trotting him out with two people under each underarm, and then there's marionette strings that they take out and out.
He looks like he does. Remember when I was in Brazil and I sent you all of those photos from the local cemetery and the crypts were open and I was like, I guess we have vampires. That's where they put Chrétien back to bed at night.
In a splendiferous sarcophagus, in a vast mausoleum.
Yeah.
It's true.
Into the mausoleum with him.
Yes, a vast mausoleum. Mm-hmm.
Okay, one more.
God.
Silver Feet 1280 gives us $5. Albertans, the first Trudeau destroyed you. The second Trudeau demolished you. What are you waiting for? The third Trudeau? Yeah, we don't need Hadrian to come get us.
Could you imagine Ella Grace? Just or the rapper. Could you imagine which one is the rapper again? Oh, it's the
Xavier.
Xavier. Could you imagine taking orders from Xavier Trudeau? Like,
we gotta go, man. We gotta go. We gotta go. Arrivederci, Canada. We're out.
Oh, Sheila,
okay. I think that's a show for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We're back tomorrow with the Buffalo panel because it's Wednesday. 3 straight days with Lise Merle on the show. We don't deserve this.
Well, Thursday, I'm going to be napping. Okay, I'll be recovering from this. Actually, my voice is having a hard time keeping up to this week. And so thanks for bearing with me and my croaking and my coughing and my just about worn out. I'm a chatty Cathy, as you all know.
Yeah.
And I think I about blew my vocal cords this week. So no, tomorrow's going to be awesome. Tomorrow's my favorite day of the week. It's hump day. Okay. Hump day, Western Wednesday. This is where all the Westerners come together to have important conversations. Can't wait. You guys, wait till you see who we have on tomorrow. Just you wait and see.
Wait till I see. I don't know. I don't know. We're all going to see together because I didn't even look at the schedule for tomorrow. Olivia, thanks so much for putting the show together. Babe. Olivia and Efron bringing up the things when we asked for them. I know we sort of take it out of order sometimes, and I throw to things that we don't have on the list. So I know that you guys have to find that stuff real quick. Thanks to those of you who kicked in a little bit of money here to keep the lights on at Rebel News. And for those of you who I realize that the government is making you more poor than you've ever been. It's real cheap and easy to just engage with the content, leave a comment, share it with somebody. The more our content is interacted with, the higher it is on the algorithm, and then it's served up in front of more eyeballs, which is really our mission here at Rebel News, is to change hearts and minds and be happy warriors. I think that's it for the show. And as Lise and I always say, if you find us offensive, maybe don't find us at all.
Congratulations, Hudson, Sophie, all the producers here this evening. On behalf of Canada's new government, look, I'm a politician. I'm not above taking credit for the Canadian funding that helped you share this story with the world. I might not have been here when the decision was made, but I'm here now. So, yeah, I greenlit this thing. I stood up to the Americans. I made this thing made. Yeah. But in all seriousness, more fundamentally, I and millions, hundreds of millions of others are inspired, truly inspired by your talents, your values, and your determination in conceiving this story, creating it, and telling it so well. But I will also, by the way, and I'll finish on this, I'm going to take credit for bringing Shane and Ilya to Ottawa, where I am an MP in season 2. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Bonsoir.